Well, everyone was wondering if John McCain would go there last night, so to speak, hitting Barack Obama hard on his ties to former Weather Underground radical Bill Ayers. And he's not the only one who's fired up about it. Now, we're starting to hear from some former FBI agents who worked on the Underground case, and they're raising some concerns of their own. Former agent Max Knoll tells Newsmax, quote, "I have a problem with Obama minimizing the relationship and saying that it has nothing to do with anything." Another agent says, quote, "Obama's a bright man. He's certainly well-read and intelligent. He had to know the background and activities which have been openly described by Ayers." And Bill Gavin knows some of these agents who worked on this case. He's a former assistant director of the FBI in New York, and he joins me now. Bill, good evening. Good to see you.
Good to see you too, Martha.
You know, I think a lot of people have sort of heard this name tossed around, even at this point, and maybe they don't know the details about what Bill Ayers did or attempted to do. So maybe you could just fill us in so they can decide whether or not they think that this is something to be concerned about.
Sure, I'd be delighted to. Bill Ayers was a member of the Weather Underground that sprung from the SDS, the Students for Democratic Society. He isn't just a person that could be a threat. He was a threat, and he did horrible things. He built bombs. He put a bomb down in at the NYPD. He put a bomb down at the Capitol. He put a bomb down in San Francisco. He put a bomb down at the Pentagon. This was a vicious young man as a member of the Weather Underground. He went in fugitive status for approximately 10 years and then came out of the fugitive status. He was arrested and he couldn't be prosecuted based on the fact that there were some overhears that were the wiretaps that were
so there was never any
prosecution,
no prosecution, and never charged with any murder because people at those scenes were not killed, but there was a situation that his wife was involved in where 2 police officers were killed, right?
That's correct. She was in the Weather Underground as well, in that Brinks robbery in Nyack, New York, she was involved in, and she went to jail for not cooperating. But you know, Bill marries Bernadine, and he appears again as a college professor, morphed into somebody that he's not. It's one thing, Martha, I think, to have an individual in his younger days be crazy and disclaim it, not deny it, but be sorry for it. In 2001, David Horowitz from the New York Times interviewed Bill Ayers and asked him, and Bill said he did set off bombs, he's not ashamed to say it, and he only wishes he could have done more. Now keep in mind, this is in 2001. This is the same time that Barack Obama was on the board of the fund with him. And you can't, it's impossible or inconceivable to believe that the reputation of Bill Ayers in Chicago could have escaped a bright individual like Senator Obama.
You know, there was an interesting point brought up by one of these FBI agents, you know, just comparing it to another domestic terrorist, Timothy McVeigh, saying, what if he hadn't been successful and then he had gotten off on a technicality? Do you think that that is an accurate comparison, or is that an unfair comparison?
Well, I don't know. We have more time in this case, Martha, but I can assure you that this is one leopard that didn't get the spots erased. It's a pathetic situation. I think that where the state of Illinois allows this man to teach in a university level with minds of young people that are somewhat impressionable, and since he hasn't given up that idea of terrorism, of laying down bombs and not having any contrition for it at all, that's a deplorable situation that I think ought to be explored by the state of Illinois.
All right, Bill, thank you very much, Bill Gavin. Good to talk to you tonight.